Well, it is the silly season. It is off season for most footballers, but it is probably the most nerve-wracking time of the year for all of us. Trust me, I've been there. I know what it's like in the off season when you do not have a club or potentially not sure what your next move will be. There's a lot happening. Clubs releasing players being signed, a lot to talk about in that space. And obviously, we'll discuss this with our guys. Morgan, you were a player. Going into this period, we know every footballer's nightmare is preseason. But for a lot of people, a lot of players, you just want to get to a preseason because a lot of players now don't know what their fate's going to be over the next while.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more even worrying when you're a player towards the end of your career, I can tell you about myself. I had sleepless nights, because you always think you can give 2 more seasons. And every time you have the 2 more seasons that come up, you say, I still have it, And it's a season where you need to reflect and say, have I done enough to secure my stay at the club or my move to a new club? Or am I worthy of still playing football? So this is nerve-wracking, especially when you know that the club hasn't been playing you and you haven't been doing too well. So it's actually one of the worst times in your life, especially when you're going like from club to club or you haven't gotten a club. Clubs haven't inquired about you. It's
and I guess that's where, obviously representation, management, whatever, your agent, everyone has a role to play. But when we look now at this window, Nadim, what's the major talking point? Who needs to do good business in this window?
I think the team that needs to do Kaizer Chiefs for me, because they are the biggest team in South Africa. They've been really disappointing their fans, the management, starting from Bobby Mtaonge to Kaizer Jr. They've really undermined the supporters, if I can be a bit harsh, because if you look how the past 2 seasons, they've not reinforced with proper strikers. I felt that it's easy to blame the coaches from Kevin Johnson, Atazwane. But if you look at offensive-wise, Chiefs need the proper strikers, at least 2 quality strikers. I believe if you've got like 10, 15 players, 10 goals, or someone give you 10 to 12 goals a season, just like Nukovic did for 2 Chiefs, where they need won the league.
Yeah.
If you've got a player who can give those kind of things, you can almost win the league or be around there. And up until Chiefs do that, for me, I'll still feel bad because I feel like they're the best team. The country benefits with their back with Chiefs because they control the South African football landscape in terms of the supporters, a lot of things.
But having said that, I hear what you're saying. Maybe, yes, they haven't had the greatest in terms of signings. Maybe, Morgan, you'll give us your opinion on that, obviously. But who's available? How many goal scorers, 10, 15, 20 goal season players are there?
There are a lot of players are available. There's... look at what John Comitis did. He might even go to the NFD next week because he sold 1 player, Mayo. That's what happens if you don't have a striker.
Yeah.
Cape Town City's problem is not anything else. He sold Mayo, who was giving him 12 goals a season. That means you're going to be relegated because they went from scoring 30 goals a season to scoring 14 goals last season. Chiefs need that kind of players to be... Now we're talking about the team. They can even bring Mayo. Chiefs are rich enough to get Mayo to come and play in South Africa. He's a local boy. His father is a Chiefs legend. They can do... I see now they want to sign... I think they signed a white player from England or something.
They've signed a player from England.
A white boy.
A player from England.
Ethan.
Yeah.
He's a South African boy.
He's a white guy.
Does it matter? Whether he's white... Why the emphasis on him being white? He's a player, right?
Okay, player. Yeah.
As Bradley Cross is a player.
Yeah, and
all the other players.
Yeah. They've signed a player from England. But okay. I feel Chiefs need to be a top 8 team.
Top 8 team.
Yes.
Okay.
Not number 9. But Chiefs now will end up calling them number 9 or number 10. Last season they were number 10. Now they're number.
But they're not going to go into this season and say we need to be top 8. Their ambitions are much higher than that.
No. It has to be a top 8 because for the past 2 seasons they have not made the top 8. Now they are their ambition is limited to top 8. That's it.
No, Nadim.
They need to.
I disagree.
Kaizer Chiefs can never
disagree.
I mean,
It doesn't matter if they can agree or not. The fact is, the past 2 seasons they not make the top 8. Is it true or not?
that's true. Yes, you are
Exactly.
right.
So what should they aim for? Being in the top 8 first, not winning the league. You can't jump from number 10 and win the league. Please,
Yeah,
guys.
no, of course. I hear you.
Yeah. So for me, I feel they need strikers to do that.
So top 4 is not
I
realistic.
don't think Chiefs have a bad goalkeepers. I believe Brendan Peterson, for me, is in the top 3 goalkeepers in the country. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe what was happening with him when Kune was there, it looks like his confidence fell down. I saw him against Pirates in the final. The defenders, the Chiefs are not bad, let us be honest. Okay, Dodley got injured, but they are not that bad. Midfielders, for me, they should be focusing on signing strikers and offensive players. For me, you'll see Chiefs being in top 3 teams.
So that would be realistic
Yeah,
if they
realistic.
got the right strikers.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you had the
If they can
checkbook,
add at least 2 players who can give them 8 goals, 9 goals.
No, I don't agree with Nadim. I think they were rebuilding.
You don't agree on what?
That they need to sign a top striker that scores 10, or which striker you're going to find right now?
Or they don't need to sign.
No, they need to sign, but they'll sign strikers that can come
you
and
don't
enhance.
agree with what? Because you said you don't agree with me. You don't agree with what?
Nadim, let me answer Mark. Mark, look, they obviously went into the transfer market with eyes open, wanting players that are going to come and improve their situation, where they're trying to, obviously, as a player, you want to reach for the top. And Kaizer Chiefs is a team that, whether the mandate is there or not, the players themselves want to achieve good things for the team. Because, when you achieve anything good with Kaizer Chiefs, the likes of Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns, Pirates, you lauded by the supporters and fans. And you go down in the history books. And now the guys are in that phase where they just want something. So now they want to continue with that.
Yeah.
And do well. And obviously the eyes are going to be on them. So for me, the signings that they're going to be making, or the scouting team, need to be mindful that they're coming to a big team that really you need to have a thick skin. You need to have at least be a quality player that's going to take the team to the next level, including knowing as a team you have a mandate to reach greater heights. And obviously, in the coefficient right now,
But how are
Chiefs
they
should
going
be-
to be in the top 8 if they don't sign top goal scorers to reach that point?
the signing they've made, Morgan, I mean, you say Ethan...
Cheslet, Cheslet, yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan Cheslet.
Where was he playing before?
Port
Vale, I think.
Port Vale FC.
Yeah.
He was playing there as a number 10. He actually
It's the 4th
turned down.
division in England.
No, it's not the 4th. It's the 3rd. Which
Port
is a
Vale.
very, very, very...
No, but with
League
where's
2.
Owen?
League 2.
Can you check?
It's in League 2.
Port Vale is it League
So
2?
League-
So it's League 2 is the 3rd division in England.
No, League 2 would be 4th division. Because you have
Championship.
Premiership, Championship,
Championship.
League 1, League 2.
Okay, fourth
Yeah.
division. Yeah, you're right. 4th division, which
Yeah.
I know myself.
Thank you, Mark.
I've been to the championship, and it's actually a very, very strong league, because I tried my luck at Crystal Palace, and the standards and the levels are really, really high. So I think he'll come in and make a difference for the Kaizer Chiefs team and the players that they've signed. I mean, they've signed fullbacks that are offensive, very offensive.
Yeah.
So that's adding already to what they need.
We speak, I mean, when you say the fullbacks, I assume you're speaking about Paseka Marco and Monyane.
Yeah.
Tabiz Monyane on the right. So already, are those 2 areas that you feel that needed remedying?
They didn't really need. They needed players to come and challenge. So they're more offensive. If you look at Bradley Cross, he's a good player. Take nothing away from him, but he's not as aggressive when it comes to his attack.
Yeah.
He's a better defender when defending. But the likes of Marco, they'll bring a new and revive, because Marco's not a natural left back. He was a left wing at some point in his career. So obviously they'll use that to good effects to supply the players in the front.
So it's added more depth to the squad.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, Nadim's point to saying that, the 2 departments, defense, midfield, they seem solid, that they need something better up front. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, they need to add players that are going to come on and hit the ground running, because they really need players that have been playing and understand that they're coming to a team where a lot is expected. It's one of the biggest teams in the country, and there's going to be pressure, whether good, bad, or ugly. They're going to be under pressure. They're going to be under scrutiny. So
They'll have to deal with
They'll
it.
have to deal with it.
So Nadim, if you had an open checkbook, you were in charge of Kaizer Chiefs, who do you sign?
Mayo. I'll fetch Mayo from wherever he's in Tunisia, right? Or he's in Algeria. You just fetch Mayo and say, this is your team.
Kanyisa Mayo.
Kanyisa Mayo, you motivate him. He knows the league. He can score goals. He's a clinical boy. It shows it at Cape Town City. The Chiefs, he can get a better supply there. He can improve the team. No problems.
Okay.
You get rid of most of the defensive strikers that they have.
Defensive strikers.
Yes, the strikers that don't even score. They score 1 or 2 goals a season. So you just get rid of them. You have a player like Mayo who has shown that he's a PSL, is a proper, full-blown PSL player who can score goals in the league. Give him a chance. He's very good in the air. He can score goals. At one point in time, was a John Cup goal scorer. Even the last season was like on 10 goals or so. I think they mustn't complicate matters. I mean, getting players from Port Valley, 4th or 5th division in England, for what?
But I mean, obviously, we don't know what he's capable of. We'll see. Maybe it's a good signing. Maybe it works out. Maybe
Exactly. With Mayo, you know. I think in 3 seasons was averaging 10 goals a season. You know what you're expecting. That one you don't know, which is a gambling, because I'm saying Chiefs is the biggest team in South Africa. The minute Chiefs start doing well, there's a change of atmosphere. Even us who cover football, the reaction of people,
it's different.
It's so nice. Even when Chiefs fans insult you, you feel part of the game, because you are like flooded by a lot of supporters. You will have different opinions and all those kind of things. Even the stadium, it doesn't matter where they play. I mean, I remember when the season started, Chiefs started by beating Marumo Gallants, then they beat Amazulu. Sold out. Even Durban was sold out. Bloemfontein was sold out. That's the kind of Chiefs you want to see.
Yeah.
So
Consistently.
And it improves the league, because there's no team that has got numbers more than Chiefs. Honestly speaking, you need them to do well. For me, I'll always feel like it doesn't matter if they get irritated or not, the people who run it, because it seems like they don't see what we see, that this is the biggest team in South Africa. It needs to be fighting to be in the top 8 or even winning the league, not making the top 8.
Sure. Not ending outside top 8.
Yeah, not to be number 9.
I mean, it's an interesting one, Nadim point. Kanyisa Mayo, it's a credible option.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of players that the team can possibly sign, but sometimes when players are linked with the team, it probably irritates the current team that is at. So for me, they just need to look and assess it properly. Is he going to come and hit the ground running?
Is he available?
I know players that I think that should be also have a look into, is a guy called Prince Duba. He played at SuperSport. He's now at Yanga, and he's scoring goals. Players like that, I think he also knows the league. He understands the league. He went to somewhere else where he's valued and he's doing the business. So there's a lot of players that can come in
and I saw Aziz also is playing for Wydad now.
Aziz Ki.
Yeah, ask yourself, were Chiefs not aware that guy is prolific? Why they didn't go for a guy like that? Because, I mean, we know that Soccer Beat, Peter Tutote has been busy lying and saying Finston Maela is going to Chiefs. It's not going to happen. Maela is getting paid $1 million. There is no player in South Africa that gets paid $1 million a year. So other things, they just cannot happen. But from young Africans to Kaizer Chiefs, it's a possible deal. From Pyramids to Sundowns or any club, it's not possible. That team is owned by Southern Arab people from Saudi Arabia. They can loan a team from England players. They don't have money problems. So I feel Chiefs need to be realistic. They need to stop like this thing of, they like buying a lot of players, but all the players don't improve them. That season they bought 15 players, 12 players last season. Even now they're going, but they are not improving.
So how do you feel about again, Morgan spoke about the fullbacks that came in, Paseka, Marco, and Monyane. Do you feel they've added value, they'll add value to the squad?
For me, that's why I think they're making a mistake, because I feel like they're signing what they already have.
I mean, if you look at on the left especially, because for a large part of the season, towards the end, at left wing back, they had issues there.
They are the one who got rid of the clock, I remember.
But no, he's a centre back. We're talking about a wing back.
Marco is a left back, right?
Yes.
He signed as a left back.
And
No. He signed as a player, not as a left back, because his contributes to attacking is more than his defending.
Is it from the office or?
No. It's not from the office. I'm just telling you that
Yeah.
there's Tshepo Mashiloane. He didn't get a chance to play because obviously he was injured. Then there was Bradley Cross. So they feel that bringing in Marco's a better fit, and he adds on to attacking and defending. So that's best of both worlds.
Overall, I agree. Marco is a good signing. He's a very good player. I'm shocked that Pirates left Pirates. I don't know what was the dynamics. I think he's a good player, but with Monyane also, I don't know if those players wanted to stay at Pirates. I don't know what was the dynamic, but those two players from Pirates, I think they are good additions at Kaizer Chiefs.
yeah, that's
But-
the question. That's what I'm.
No, I think they are good players, Mark. If you look at Marco has been...
Because Pule Modi was
Even
playing.
Pirates-
Pule Modi, in essence, was playing as a wing back, and Pule Modi is not a wing back. I mean, we know him; he's an outright winger. Pule Modi was playing as a wing back, and then Solomons was playing on the opposite. They were playing three centre backs.
Pirates are weaker now in the left back without Marco.
Yeah.
I honestly believe so because
No, for sure. And so, do you give? I mean, you have to give Chiefs credit for that. Then they've made a good signing there.
they did make a good signing, but that's not where the problem lies. The problem is offensive. They need goals.
That's offensive. He's part of the offensive. You start
Exactly.
the build up from
I
the
mean,
back. Wing
we
backs are modern football. Wing backs and full backs are now players that can play in the midfield and add to the attack.
No, it's a good signing. Even Monyane is a right-footed player who likes overlapping, going forward, create plenty of chances. But I still believe they need an out-and-out striker.
No,
Proper-
granted. I mean, I think we can't run away from that
For
fact.
me, I feel that I think they are signing well. The quality that they've signed, they improve. I mean, like they've signed Bongan Sam. I don't remember Bongan Sam playing for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
But now you look like Marco. I mean, he should be going in as a starter at Kaizer Chiefs. Sure. I give them credit there. But I still believe he's not a player that's going to make them from number 9. I think he's a player Marco can take them from number 9 to number 9. I don't think he's a player who can take them from number 9 to top
He's added
3.
value to the squad.
Yeah, value, but
So we understand, and I fully agree with you. They do maybe, but if you look at what's available, surely, I mean, they've added value to the squad. I'm sure they're still looking for the dynamic up top that's gonna just take them over the line. But you can't disagree with what they've done thus far.
I just want to see Chiefs because if you look at Kaizer Chiefs, it's a team that is not. They've got power more than any team. If they can have a proper striker like Nukovic when he came, Chiefs nearly won the league. The only reason they didn't win the league is because Pitso Msimane played them dirty with the whole George Malulega not on sign a contract. I want to see Chiefs that will just become fearless against any side. That's gonna make South African football.
And you say the only thing that's gonna do that is getting a solid number 9 that can bang goals.
Goals.
Okay.
It needs to be fair. When you're playing Chiefs, you need to be scared. Now small teams, even they are playing Chiefs, they're not scared. It's nice.
I don't think it's just the striker that needs to be. I think they need to also spark something into the players, the attacking players.
Yeah.
The wingers that are either there or the
currently are there.
midfielder. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
Morgan,
need to
that's
be-
a question I want to ask you.
No, that's true.
What they have up front right now, in your mind, is it good enough? Just what they have currently, is it good enough? Because we're saying that they need someone who's going to score 10 to... Do you believe the players that are there, if they really group together, they come together solidly, if the coach Nabi does the things, is there someone there that's going to give them 12 to 15 goals?
If someone can come in and challenge, obviously a striker comes in or whatever, number 10, and comes in and shakes the dressing room up and, he scores goals and they seeing that, listen, my position is literally going to be taken away by this new guy. That's going to up the value and that's going to up your ante at training and you'll focus more. I don't think right now there's a player that can say that he's a definite starter. The coach is really scratching his head and say, is this a starter? But as Nabi said, he wants the quality that he wants and he worked with what he had there. And now's the opportunity for him to bring in that striker. Maybe it will revoke and wake them up and say, hey, if I get an opportunity, I must do better than the guy that's been brought in from wherever he's brought in.
Okay, hot topic.
But who's signing the players? Is it Nabi or the management? Because I
We
saw
know
the coach.
we can argue this thing all day long. It's a collective thing. It has to be a collective thing. It can't be only the coach and it can't be only the management. It has to be a consensus.
Then it means
Everyone
Kaizer
sits down.
Julian. Kaizer
Everyone
and
must-
Bobby, they will be at fault if they don't get a proper attacking players.
Everyone will be. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they'll obviously have to reflect on it.
Yeah, because it's time that Chiefs become aggressive. You can't be talking
Yeah.
about Chiefs as if we're talking about Skukun. Skukun, if you look at the last 3 seasons, they finish higher than Kaizer Chiefs. Stellenbosch, if you look at the budget and the kind of quality of players they have, they finish higher than Chiefs. And if you look at Stellenbosch, playing finals, playing continental semi-finals, Kaizer Chiefs, they are lacking. Why? Because for me, I don't want to blame the coaches. I don't want to blame the coaching. I need to blame the people who are running it in terms of recruiting personnel.
So, okay. I think the management at Kaizer Chiefs will agree that for Chiefs to finish 9 and 10 is unacceptable. I
Yes.
think they know that, and they know they need to do better. And I think they'll be hard at work to make sure they rectify the
But they've
mistakes
been
of the
saying
past.
that for the past 4 years.
That's again. I think. I
Yeah,
mean,
but they've got a trophy for that. At least they can say, listen, we've got a
This
trophy.
past season,
Yes. How do
they've
we then
broken-
build
no,
on
even
that?
Mackenzie won a trophy, please.
No, but
Nadim,
Nadim, it takes
they've
a
broken
lot.
ground. You can say, I mean, after 10-year drought, we have to give them credit. Yes, they should be in the top. They should always be in the top 8. But they have,
Without a doubt.
without a doubt, they
Yeah.
should always. Kaizer Chiefs can never. It's
Yeah.
unacceptable for them to finish outside the top 8.
Exactly, yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
But they have broken ground. They've won something after a 10-year drought. So let's give them that.
No, I can't. You know why, Mark? In the last 8 consecutive matches of the league, like 8 consecutive matches, there were 28 matches. From game number 21 to 28, they didn't even win a single match.
Save the best for last. They won the
understand?
NetBank Cup.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean,
So-
they weren't competitive in the league,
Yeah.
but they had the net bank that they were, looking.
No. I don't want to start a debate how they won the net.
But if Devon Titus comes to Pirates, does he start? I'm saying if Devon Titus comes to Pirates, does he start?
That means
Does he play? Is it better? Are you
Does he
saying
start, in your opinion?
yes?
who
He's
does
a
he take
starter.
out?
You ask me about Nkot. Yes, it's better than Nkot.
Okay.
And Rile? Is it better than Rile?
Okay, maybe there's a story that you guys were forgetting. Really, there's a report that came last week where Rile said he prayed, like going to church on a Sunday and pray to God. He doesn't want his son to play for Orlando Pirates next season.
Chaba.
Yeah. The father has been saying that he doesn't want
But
to.
we've all, even me, I have that prayer.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
So Mfokeng, he might, we don't know because he's a good enough player. We don't know if there are offers and all those kind of things.
There should be offers.
Yes. So it looks like he might leave.
Okay.
Yes, because the father is really pushing hard. But obviously, we don't believe that thing of Barcelona signing Mfokeng. Barcelona, they just signed
Regardless,
Nico Williams from Atletico Bilbao, the Spanish left wing. So I think Mfokeng might leave. The father wants him to leave. If there's an offer that is acceptable enough from Pirates, they can accept it. So there will be players like Titus will be needed at Pirates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think that the Pirates had the point where they can, they can release him. Obviously, it's the price comes right because they've got other players that are coming in, like Cameron.
Dennison, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Dennison.
there's something
players-
that said by Monem Josephs on Soccer Beat that Pirates must stop signing players from outside the top 8. For me, I think, look at Sundowns where they sign players. Most of their players, they get it from the teams that are like in the top 4 or so. Pirates also, they need to have that kind of attitude where they go to Skukune, go to Stellenbosch. I'm not sure about getting the best player at Richards Bay, getting those teams that are fighting relegation, going to Baroka.
Now you're looking at
Baroka, a team that is not even in their contention to qualify for playoffs.
Do you mean you
Sometimes
can't find quality there?
You can, but it takes time for those players to have an instant impact.
Yeah, but
it's not going to be a quick solution. It's going to long term. It's good.
But
Yeah.
as a agent or as a scout, you take time, you look at the player and you pair him up
Over
with
time,
teams.
yeah.
Yes, you pair him up with a team that say, look, there's this player that is a potentially great player. I'm offering him to team X. The potential meeting the opportunity. I think there are quality players that are down in the lower ranks that can come and do the business.
But it depends what's the ambition of Pirates now, because already Pirates are number 2. They've already cemented number 2.
So now Pirates should go for number 1.
Of course. So if you want to be better than last season, what do? You need to recruit. Your recruitment must be clear that you want to reduce the gap with Sundowns from 13 points at least to 7 points. From the recruitment so far, it looks like they just want to maintain the 13 points. Because you need to get players who are better than what you have. That's why Tshepo Mbule is a step to the right direction. Then what? Get those kind of players like Tshepo Mbule's caliber, that they can improve the team. Just Roger Desa used to say when he was at Pirates, that he prefers the management signing players that are better than what they have. Yeah. So if you're going to bring players that are lesser than or almost equal than what you have, there's not going to be improvement. You're still going to be number 2, 13 points behind Sundowns.
So I think, guys, that's where we leave it for now. The off-season is still going to be heated. I think there's still a lot to look forward to and a lot still to come. The Club World Cup as well will be entering into the knockout phase. So we'll be at it again. Make sure you stay tuned. This is and has been a Switch On Network. Remember, we are on all your socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, on X, wherever you will find us. Switch On Network. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, interact with us. Let us know how you feel. We want you to be a part of this journey. Stay tuned. A lot more to come as this off season heats up.